And speaking of gent, I can't wait to tell you about my rig. I love incredible gent tone and axe effects. Dude, I use that for everything. I cook my food with it. I pour coffee with it.
Axe effects?
I shout axe effects, yes. It's just, that's it. It's what it's all about, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you want incredible gent tones, axe effects. But no, don't have an axe effects, too expensive. 2011 Line 6 pod, because first two monuments were using the older version of this and it sounds fucking sick, so dude, it's good enough. Blah blah blah, doesn't matter. Lights, cool. This thing with power amp, this thing is amazing. It's kind of a cheat code because you can turn any cab into a good cab, because you can just go from like -10 to +10, So we tried this thing on an old shitty bass cab the first time I used it, and I was actually able to cut out all the low end from it, and I was able to get the sound that I like, which is pretty sick. So now I was like, oh, what would this sound like with the right cab? So I got this little thing here, and sounds sick.
And what is it? What is that?
It's a Mesa 2x12 rectifier cab. It's, dude, so not that good at doing rig rundowns. No one's asked for it. Yeah, no one's asked to see what our rig is like, but yeah, pretty cool, man. It got so awkward so fast. And yeah, man, there's knobs here. It's pretty cool. There's a non-switch, and then there's some little lights you can adjust. And because I'm kind of a pretentious dude who likes expensive stuff, I'm like, yeah, I gotta show the logo exactly, cross like that, and it's cool. But that's actually the secret to like crazy, amazing, like ethereal gent tone. It's to shine the logo of your cab. If you do that, it sounds like blues. If you do that, it sounds like your favorite gent band, which should be Sidian. It should be. Dude, the fact that we're not famous yet blows my mind. We've played 2 shows near our hometown. What more does it take?
Okay. What kind of guitars do you play?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. So, okay. Well, I'll start with this one first because I have this thing, which is a Strandberg Bowden Standard 7, which is pretty cool. There's a little ding here. I'd love to play that. When did that happen? I would love to say that happened live in front of 1 million people, but what happened is I was on the phone, and then I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and then I said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'll be back. I put my phone down, and then I forgot that the guitar was on my lap, and I got up and smashed it against my desk.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that's cool. But no, yeah.
Is that because it's so light you forgot it was there?
Yeah, it's so light, yeah. So that's good. No, it happened when we opened for Metallica. But yeah, that's super light. It's pretty sick because it just like stays wherever you put it. I have no life, so I weighed it, and it weighs 5.7 pounds, which is completely unreasonable for like a 7-inch trim. It's sick. It doesn't neck dive. It's fantastic. It's pretty cool because like these are actually the cheaper models that they make, but they're still amazing. Because usually you'll have, an and this is not a knock on any of the other cheaper guitars, it's just how it is. They'll have like a whatever body wood, and then they'll have like a maple veneer, and then they're gonna put like plastic binding around it so that it looks like it's a top, but it's not. But you know, it's cool that they do that, because then you can have like an affordable guitar that still looks cool. But these guys, they're like, oh, we can't give you a full top, but we're still gonna give you a maple top, so you still get the tone aspect, and then they put a veneer on it. And usually veneers kind of look, you know, medium, and this is like the sickest veneer I've ever seen. Like it's, you know, like this part here is just perfect. It just moves around, it's sick. So like, you know, if you didn't know any better, you would think that this is a full top, which is amazing. And being the cheap model, it still has a 2-piece body, which is, you know, pretty cool. And the neck is all weird and asymmetrical. And it's cool because they use like this roasted everything. So like roasted maple, and then you got these walnut strips. And then if you can, I don't know if the camera can catch it, but there's like 4 black lines here. Those are carbon fiber sheets. So the neck just doesn't move, which is pretty amazing. And then, you know, fretboard is roasted maple, because roasted maple is just the best wood, no debate. And it stays in tune. It stays in tune. And that's really all you can, you know, like, if anyone is unsure about these, or oh, they're kind of pricey, it's like, dude, it stays in tune. And it has completely unreasonable sustain. So anyone that's like, oh yeah, the guitar has to be heavy for it to have sustain, they don't know what they're talking about, because this thing weighs like less than 6 pounds, and it has, you know, a completely unreasonable sustain. Unreasonable meaning, you know, good. I'm a poet. And here's the other one. So if you're like, well, if that's the cheap model, what's an expensive model like? Hey, I'm glad you asked. So yeah. So this is the Strandberg Bowden Original 6-string. And this is, you know, this is just a work of art. It's awesome. This one has a full top, and you can see like the flame kind of wraps around, which is sick. And it's got this ash body with, it's got like, it's chambered, so it weighs nothing. And it has the prettiest fretboard I've ever seen. You know, like it's just so unreasonable. And yeah, everything's perfect on it. The wood here just like matches perfectly for like really no reason other than because it looks nice. Yeah, you know, same thing, like roasted maple neck. But this one, look how unnecessary this is. Like these 2 pieces are like the grain faces in, and then the middle piece has like flame on it. Doesn't affect tone whatsoever, but it looks sick, so they do it. And then you have these 2 black lines, which are again the carbon fiber sheets, which you can see here. Yeah, so this thing just again stays in tune, which is amazing. Yeah, and they have like the tightest neck joints you'll ever see. You know, like it's just, there's no play. It's like, it's so tight. It's perfect. It's amazing. And another thing that these guys do, which is just, I think is unmatched, is, you know, so the cutaway for the pickups are obviously perfect. And they finish the pickup cavities. So these are painted black. So usually you'll have like, even on a $4,000 guitar, if you look at this, you could see just like paint drips. Yeah, which is not a big deal, but I mean, if you're someone who like, you know, likes making things, that should drive you nuts, and it drives me nuts. And then, yeah, that's it. It's pretty cool. Like this is all finished. Everything is like unnecessarily well done, which is pretty sick. And then they even make like, everything's made in-house. Like these knobs are made by them. These little saddles are made by them, and it's all like milled aluminum as opposed to die-cast steel. Like what does that do? What does that matter? Well, if you use die-cast steel, you're like pouring hot metal into a mold, and you don't know if the metal is equally dense throughout the piece. which is why, you know, like some pieces of die-cast anything are not even in weight or in density. And then these guys, because they're milled out of a block, they're all the same. And because it's all aluminum, like it seems to restrict sound less. And these are all aluminum also. It just has the craziest sustain of, like, you know, any guitar you've ever played, which is sick. So it's like, oh, but why does that matter? Well, it matters because now, like, you're playing a guitar that can make any single note sound amazing. So now you're not restricted to playing fast notes. Because the reason I used to play fast notes is because I didn't have a guitar that sounded that good. So you would have to do a bunch of notes for it to sound good. But this thing, it's like it kind of forces you to let notes ring out more. Well, I did that like it's not a real term. I like notes to ring out. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So it completely changed the way I started writing stuff. And yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. I like also how the logo and the model is just like etched into the wood like perfectly. It's amazing. It's amazing. Worth every penny.